Welcome to the SRC Community Corner Live Forum, brought to you on third Thursdays in this space. So whether you are joining us on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, it's a pleasure to have you here. We are turning the spotlight this month on 3 young Jamaican advocates who are using their voices and platforms to drive meaningful change. They are Mr Central Jamaica 2025, Justin Bailey, Miss Central Jamaica 2025, Briana Bachan, and first runner-up, Gladenique Bennett. All right, each of them represents a unique area of advocacy, from environmental protection and women's empowerment to promoting inclusion in STEM. Some amazing areas there that they're focused on. And just in case you are not familiar with the Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica pageant, we introduced them in this space in 2024. This is their 4th year that they're having the pageant. It's a platform that allows the young people to advocate for different causes and to empower young people in general. So there are a number of pageants around. However, those you'll see in the Serenity Resource Connector space has some alignment with community development, community building, and it is solidified by the areas here, the advocacy that's been added to the portfolio. So advocacy, service, and youth leadership, those are key in terms of alignment with the Serenity Resource Connector platform. And our guests seem to be having some technical challenges this evening because of the rain. So they should be joining us shortly. But in the meantime, for those who are on, feel free to share where you are connecting from. I saw a Shane Dixon online, one of our Police Youth Forum, Youth Council representatives from the East. So if you are here with us live, go ahead and share where you're joining us from and who you're repping this evening. Justin, are you hearing? Are you able to come on screen? All right, here is Gladenique. Welcome, Gladenique. Are you hearing clearly?
No, I'm not hearing clearly.
All right, let's try again. Welcome, Gladenique. All right, I trust that that will be sorted out. So Gladenique Bennett is the first runner-up in the Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica 2025 pageant. She's from St. Andrew, an engineering student and advocate for women in STEM. Powerful message for our young women where she's representing here, that they belong in the technical fields. Gone are the days where the technical field it's just for the males, but now our young women are stepping up and stepping out. So we want to start by hearing what drew Gladenique to the field of engineering. Gladenique?
I'm not hearing clearly. Could you repeat?
What attracted you to the field of engineering?
Could you repeat?
Are you hearing me now?
No.
All right, exit and then come back in. Let's see if your audio gets back to where it was before we went live. All right, while we wait on Gladenique and to rejoin, Let me thank you again for tuning in. And if you are new to this space, we have a wealth of information that you can access, resources on culture, safety and security, community development, or youth leaders who are really making their mark in the spaces that they serve across Jamaica. So you can check out our YouTube channel. They're all in playlists, so you can go through easily and identify the areas that you can benefit from. We have had conversation last month in this space, Community Corner. We actually looked at a very important topic regarding safeguarding when you're buying property, what are some of the things that you ought to look for? And for a quick glance at some of these, you can go to our website, www.serenityresourceconnector.com, and see the blog recaps. Just about 2 to 3 minutes, really highlighting the key points that are shared here in this space. We go live at 8 p.m. on Thursdays and on second and third Thursdays at 8 p.m. But for this month, we did not go live on second Tuesday. We are going to have our Youth Empowerment Forum on fourth Thursday. So you want to look out for that. You might need to join us in studio, Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica. Thank you for having our king and queens. We appreciate it. My absolute pleasure to highlight the amazing work that you're doing. Anything that connects with community, empowering our young people, Serenity Resource Connector will certainly endorse and engage in this space. All right. So if we have, let me see, Orville, you might need to join us in studios. Let's see what's going on with Gladenique. Gladenique, are you hearing me now?
Yes, I am.
Amazing. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Because I like to facilitate the conversations, not to be talking. All right. So I was asking you earlier, what drew you to engineering? Why engineering?
Well, honestly, from high school in grade 7, I was captivated by my robotics club. And from there, I just enjoyed building, rebuilding, remodeling, fixing things, doing things with my hands, and I fell in love with it. And I just stuck with it up until university, and I'm now pursuing my degree in engineering.
Amazing. Have you started specializing in the area, a specific area of engineering?
No, I'm really drawn to electrical. However, I do industrial systems, which comprise of everything. So all types of engineering, mechanical, electrical, even some civil.
Wow. Amazing. All right. So we have to hear some more on that as the conversation progresses. What challenges have you faced, though, as a woman in STEM, and how have you overcome them, if any?
Definitely faced a few challenges. One of the most protruding ones when I first entered.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. When I first entered university, I was one of around 5 women in my class, and I felt unseen. I felt like an imposter in my own class. However, I overcame it by connecting with my peers, even though they aren't the same gender as me. We have a lot in common. We both love engineering. We all love doing this. We have this passion. So I connected with them through that. And I overcame the imposter syndrome, and now we're all a community and family. I still sometimes feel a bit out of place, but I remind myself that this is where I want to be and this is where I will be.
I love that. Love that. What are some of the practical ways, though, that you were able to connect with these other women in STEM?
Definitely. I went to an all-girls school, Immaculate Conception High School, and it really helped me to surround myself with women, helped me to interact with women and see how, we all get together, because sometimes connecting may be complicated, but when we're all in the same space for a good while, it gets easier. So I try to interact, I try to communicate, to just see what the other person is thinking and see how well we mesh.
Oh, okay. So how is the relationship with your male counterparts in the class now?
It's good. Okay. Yes, it's getting better. At first, it was a little bit shaky because transferring from one company to another, it was a bit. I felt a bit out of place, as I said before. But in the world of work, we have to learn teamwork, and that is what we've been doing. So we'll continue to do it, and as we go, it will grow.
Fantastic. Any specific tips that you have for someone who might be considering going in that area, how they can navigate so they don't get stuck in that stage of imposter syndrome too long when they get in? Another girl going in, especially in connecting with the males.
Definitely, I would say stay in touch with your femininity. However, be in touch with the engineering, because engineering requires strength, not just physically but mentally. And you shouldn't put yourself in the position where you're thinking you should quit, because quitting is never the answer. Once you start something, you should stick with it, because the outcome will be better than the process. So I would definitely say to believe in yourself, and once you start it, you can finish it. And I believe in all women who pursue engineering, because we're strong.
It's mental health awareness month, and that mental strength goes a far way, right? Especially as you navigate new situations, circumstances. But how do you think more girls can be encouraged to pursue careers in the field of STEM?
Well, I feel like they just need the opportunity, which is what I strive to give them. I strive to show them that take the opportunity as it comes. So at Immaculate, we had the robotics club. That was my opportunity. So I would tell them to find their opportunity, use it, and grow with it, because you never know what might happen. It might be your field. It might be where you belong, your place. Because honestly, I didn't think that this is where I belonged in the first place. But as I grow, I love it each day.
All right, let's backtrack a little at Immaculate. Before you got involved in the robotics club, did you have any interest in pursuing STEM at all, or was it through exposure?
It was definitely through exposure. I honestly never knew what robotics was,
Uh,
coding, anything of that sort.
all right. So what I'm hearing you saying, Gladenique, correct me if I'm wrong, is you'd encourage, or especially those in high school, to explore the different clubs so that they can identify what they connect with. Is that it?
Definitely, I think that's what they're for. Yes, the clubs are for connecting and finding your place in school, and not just school, but the world at large. Because without clubs and societies, we wouldn't really be communicating with our schoolmates and just our classmates in general. We learn leadership and teamwork through the clubs. So I definitely think that you should take the opportunities.
Awesome. I love that. All right. And see, you're being cheered on. Go play. All right. So what advice would you give to young women who feel their dreams are too big or too difficult? Because STEM is not easy, is it?
No, it's not. But as I said before, don't let fear stop you from pursuing your dreams, because you never know what might happen for you. Maybe this is where you belong and it's what you've been longing for. Honestly, because without taking that step forward, I would have never been here today. and I'm really, really grateful that I did and that I came out of my comfort zone. And I implore you all to step out of your comfort zone if you feel like STEM or anything else is the way for you to go. Because trust me, it's been a great journey so far.
Amazing. So you've shared with us now about your journey in STEM. Let's link it to the competition. Why did you enter the Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica competition?
Okay, as I said before, I like to step outside of my comfort zone. I was really shy, nervous. Honestly, I could have never been doing this before entering the pageant. I learned a lot through this pageant. So why I entered is because I wanted to just show other young women like myself that hey, we can do anything we put our minds to. And by doing so, I believe I inspired other women just like me, maybe my neighbor or someone in my community, to step out and do something that they would have never done before. So that's mainly why I joined.
All right. So it was to develop your confidence. And I, all right, I should share that I can relate to that because in high school, uh, like you, I was shy. You'd never get me doing this public speaking. I just thought it was not me. But everything boils down to exposure, right? Because then I was encouraged to enter. At the time, it was Miss Upper School. And I didn't see myself being a part of a pageant. Because walking across that stage in front of so many students and teachers, I didn't see myself doing that. And then at the time, I did consciously decide that I wanted to get outside of my comfort zone and to be able to build my confidence in other areas in terms of public speaking. And so when they told me that this is a perfect opportunity for you to build your confidence, and I was like, all right, sign me up. And I went on to get the prize for the most poised and most confident. Can you imagine? Yeah, so I'm sharing that to endorse what you're saying, that these competitions really do help you, because that process of training, where you get these people who are versed in these different areas, because some people just figure that the walk and poise is just, but it allows you to develop a sense of confidence when you're able to see the growth that takes place from one training session to the next, right? And then when you start sharing in front of the small group and you start getting more confident in sharing, and even though the nerve on the night, you're still able to pull through, and you are first runner up. So that says a lot. And I want to congratulate you again on that. It's because you had, how many of you were in the pageant for the female?
Thank you. I believe it was around 4 or 5.
Okay. All right, from different parishes. And I love that you're able to see this mix from the different parishes. Unfortunately, we're not going to have our queen joining us. It seems that she's still experiencing some technical challenges. And our king, we're hoping that he will be on. He was on earlier, but they're experiencing some challenges. But we continue the conversation with Gladenique. All right, Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica, cheering you on over there. We have Abigail Googley. All right. All right, Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica is loving it. They love that you're representing them well, Lady Nick. All right, so you've chosen this path of empowering women in STEM, which is centered around service, which is a big part of the Serenity Resource Connector platform. What does service mean to you as an individual?
Thank you. I believe service to me is just putting yourself out there to help others who may not have the help. And you can make a difference in their lives just by doing something simple. That is service to me.
All right, short and spicy, and that's it. That is it. But even though you are focusing on STEM, your colleagues, some focusing on environmental protection, others on women empowerment, and there are a number of groups that have different focus across the island. And a number of youth groups, we partner with the National Youth Council here for our Youth Empowerment Forum each quarter. And we also hold space for our National Police Youth Club, as well as the Prefects Association and the National Secondary Student Council. So the leaders get to share what they're doing. And a number of times they have so many things, that projects, initiatives that they're working on similar to you. And we also have our those at the tertiary level that share as well how they're using those platforms to empower young people. However, one of the key things that we emphasize here is a big part of the platform is collaboration. So I want to ask you now, Gladenique, how can young leaders across Jamaica collaborate to support each other's cause? It says,
Well, I believe collaboration is necessary. It's vital, actually, to, keep us rounded. And I believe once social media is a big, big impact in Jamaica nowadays, not just Jamaica, the whole world. It's a huge impact. So we can connect through social media, through socials, and using technology, we will definitely build connections and we can work out what goes together when our schedules mesh and align so we can build the future of Jamaica.
fantastic. Are you currently aligned to any of the youth groups?
No, I'm not. However, I am associated with the
Lost you there for a little while. You're connected to?
I'm associated with the St. Albans Hope Foundation, and it's an annual charity drive in Glengulf, St. Catherine.
Okay. All right. That's great. All right. But I'd love to see you in a space with either your police youth club or one of those other organizations. But we'll see what happens from here, because I believe you have a lot to offer in terms of helping to
Yes,
develop in some of
I
those
believe,
spaces.
I believe so as well. I believe we
Yes.
should keep the connections going so that we can all make an impact.
That's right, because together each achieves so much more because you get to share resources, so you don't have to be trying to figure it out on your own, because a number of the initiatives that you might be looking to get done, others would have done them before, so they already have their roadmap as to how they go about executing, so you can benefit from that shared knowledge and additional resources, more hands on deck so you can get it done. With that said, what role do you believe platforms like the Serenity Resource Connector can play in helping youth advocates stay visible and connected?
But as you said, it helps them stay visible and connected. I believe technology is big in the world nowadays. So this whole interview stream it keeps everyone up to date, connected, and helps them to know what's going on in the world, what the youth are doing, what they can benefit from as well, and what they can also do.
I love that. You just summed up what Serenity Resource Connector is all about in a simple way. And I just love that. So thank you so much for that. And I'm sure there are other platforms who are doing awesome job and the focus might be different, but all of us are seeking to make a difference in our unique spaces, and we want to keep encouraging each other. And as you look ahead, what's one goal or change you hope to see in Jamaica because of the advocacy you're doing today in relation to STEM? All right, we have a little delay there. Abigail is cheering you on. You are doing wonderful, Glay. All right, there's a little glitch until your connection is stable. Gladenique Bennett, thank you for tuning in. All right, Gladenique, you're muted. All right, her connection, she should soon be back. All right, Nuxie, Abigail, Glade, Bennett, thank you for tuning in to cheer on Gladenique. Tick Kaz, thank you for following us over there on Instagram. Brittany B. Williams, thank you so much. Shane, thank you for tuning in. All right, Gladenique, you're back. Welcome back. All right, so as you look ahead, what's one goal or change you hope to see in Jamaica because of the advocacy that you're doing today in STEM?
I definitely would love to see more women in STEM, in leadership positions at that, because I believe we have purpose and we can make change because women are great critical thinkers and we can do anything we can put our minds to.
You can share more, if you have more to share. And Miss Central Jamaica is asking you to share the live. The recording will remain there. So for those who are not able to join us live, share the link. They'll still be able to watch. Go Gladenique, we are proud of you. Andrea Leslie, cheering you on. Fantastic. All right, give us some specifics on some specific areas based on what you would like to do in terms of your advocacy where STEM is concerned. What, if you had the resources you need, what would that look like?
Okay, so I definitely would love to do some workshops in the schools. I would go back to Immaculate to empower my women in STEM, not just in STEM, because you may not know what you want now, but they could be looking and searching, and that might be what they need, the push that they need to join and see STEM as it is. I would go back to the schools, teach them a few tricks and fun, engaging STEM activities, such as just driving around the robot, helping to code or build, depending on what areas of STEM they would be interested in. And through those activities, we would bond as well as just grow and learn as well.
I love that. And we hosted a coding summer camp in Clarendon in this, I think it was July or August, somewhere there. So that might be an opportunity for you to join forces and go, if you don't mind, teaching the younger ones, because that was the focus on the younger ones, and they enjoyed it so much, as young as 6 years old up to, I think it was about 11, and they enjoyed learning and the growth that took place. The recording for the closing ceremony is on the Sorrento Resource Connector YouTube platform, so you can check it out and see if it's something that you'd be interested in. I'll be happy to connect you with the founder for that group so that you can get your feet wet outside of Kingston.
Okay, I would love to.
All right, fantastic. That's what we do. We make some connections. All right, Miss Engineer, STEM Queen, Abigail. I love the support that's going on here. All right, so going back into the schools, Gladenique, to empower. So you're looking to pique interest for those who don't know that this is something that they'll be interested in, as well as the existing clubs. You want to share some of your knowledge with them. And that's the best way, to learn, by sharing what you've learned. So that's an awesome initiative. And as you talked about service earlier, that's what it's about. I love that. And how do you see that positively impacting Jamaica? We're able to
Well,
get this done.
well, engaging the students, they would have more time to, get acquainted with it and learn to have a passion for it. And that could help Jamaica because as technology and infrastructure is increasing, we need more engineers, and those engineers could just be women who I have, connected with and bonded with, and could also be me.
I love that. I love your face just lights up when you're talking about engineering. So you can see and feel the connection. All right. So we are going to delve even deeper because you're looking into, as we have sixth formers preparing to exit the high school system and they're looking to get into different programs, share with those who are considering STEM what the process was like for you to get into the program that you're currently in.
Okay, fun fact, I didn't go to sixth form. I went to
Ah,
university straight. I currently attend the Caribbean Maritime University, and as I said before, I am pursuing my Bachelor's of Science in Industrial Systems Engineering. It consists of all types of engineering. However, there's also mechatronics engineering, mainly consisting of computer and mechanical engineering. So, depending on the field that you're in, they made it easy by using this website or app, and you can just browse through, see what you love, and that's what I did. I was captivated by industrial systems. It had all that I wanted, all that I dreamt of. So it was an easy process. I just signed up. It was a few documents needed, and we we had to view the school, visit the school, do orientations and all of that. And I fell in love with the school and the programs. So.
all right. So what would have been the prerequisite for you to get into that program since you didn't go to sixth form? And this is very
Okay.
interesting too, because there are some students who believe they have to go through the sixth form program. So it's all purpose that you're sharing here. You'll be helping someone. At least one person will be guided. So tell us, what was the prerequisite to get in?
Yes, the prerequisite for my course was at least two science subjects, including physics, and you should also have mathematics, CSEC, all CSEC. You can have CAPE, but it's not required, and I didn't. So I had physics, electrical, and math, all of those that I used to get into this program.
All right. That's it. A real fun fact. She didn't go to sixth form. Thank you for that, Gladenique, because when things work out like this, we just roll with the punches, because you never know who needs to get the guidance that you're able to provide in terms of what you're able to do. Do you travel from home, or what's the situation like in terms of, are you on campus or do you commute?
No, I commute personally, but they do have dorming situations. But personally, I commute. It's around 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the traffic.
Okay.
But I've gotten used to it.
All right. That is wonderful when you live relatively close to the institution. It's amazing that you're sharing here. So, did your involvement in the robotics club help you in any way in terms of how you related with the other contestants in the pageant?
Well, I said before, clubs do help teamwork, and during the pageant, I was a bit nervous. As I said, I was shy before, but meeting new people, it I acclimatized to them, and it was great in the end because I feel like we all became a little family, and it was just an awesome experience to bond with them, to connect with them, and to know other people from different parishes.
Oh, I love that. And that was one of the things that stood out to me when the entity reached out to find out if they could be a part of the space, because it is awesome, because we might not realize it, but there are some subcultures across Jamaica, and you get to learn. You get to learn from others, because there's so many unique things about persons from different parishes. So I'm happy. So what was the something that stood out for you in terms of learning from others from different parishes?
Well, I wouldn't say anything pertaining to the parishes stood out, but I realized that they're very friendly. They're very friendly. They're so kind. I
Oh,
felt at home. I felt at peace around them. So it wasn't anything to be nervous about in the end.
okay. I love that. It sounds like who Jamaicans are supposed to be, warm
Yeah.
people, right? So I'm happy that you met that representation of Jamaica in our youth, and that's a positive sign, right? And you live in Kingston, the pageant based in Manchester, in terms of the rehearsals and the actual coronation took place in Manchester. How was that for you? How did you navigate that?
Well, actually, the rehearsals were in St. Catherine this year.
Oh, they were in St.
But
Catherine. Okay, all
yes,
right.
but it was a bit challenging because to get the drive, because I don't drive, I had to commute using public transportation, but I figured out my way and I got there.
I love that. It says a lot about you as an individual, Gladenique, because if you want to get it done, you're going to find a way to make sure that it's done right. And
Yes.
it sounds like what goes on in your mind when you're pulling those things apart and putting them together. Fantastic. For the Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica, the journey doesn't end here. From what we spoke about last year, they have the opportunity to move on to different countries to participate in the international leg of the journey. Uh, right, but we'll see more. You follow the Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica pages on Instagram and Facebook, so you can learn more and see more about their journey. It's a pity Justin wasn't able to join us. He did an amazing video earlier this month. I believe it had something to do with, was it mental health?
Yes,
Yes,
it was.
right. I think that was fantastic. And I love that you're all centered around a cause and a meaningful cause at that for each of you. And I love, she is indeed a phenomenal young woman indeed. Gladenique, take a bow, queen. Fantastic. So I really applaud you for making the journey, and for the others too who traverse across parishes to ensure that they go through the process, and at the end you're able to take something from it. And it's a great time to be talking about all of this. It is Heritage Month, and so you would have seen and learned some things from the different parishes. And I trust that you all will be going out to be a part of the flag raising ceremony in your respective parishes. Make the journey, go out. That's something else that you can learn and appreciate. So for those who are going off to represent, whether you're going off to school in other countries or you're just going visiting, you know something else about your culture that you can bring to share with others. Take another piece of Jamaica with you other than yourself, right? Gladenique, any final thoughts that you'd want to share? You can feel free to thank some people and just share with us your message of hope as we prepare to wrap.
Okay. I just want to thank you for hosting me today. It was an inspiring and insightful session. I loved sharing my views and my opinions. And I hope that I inspired some young women to, pursue STEM, see what you're passionate about. I also would employ you to see, if even if it's not Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica, look in your area and see what you can do to step outside of your comfort zone, because this pageant really opened my eyes to many things. I also thank you all for joining. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your kind words to my family and everyone else who joined. Friends, thank you so much. And thank you to Mr. Tejan for inspiring me, because he's the president of Miss and Miss Central Jamaica. And also, I just want to thank the organization on the whole. Thank you.
My absolute pleasure. And you had the spotlight all to yourself, and I believe you represented well. The Crazy Prince over on Instagram saying that we see you, Glay. Well done, Queen. I love the support. And I just want to encourage all of you, especially as young people, to continue to support each other. We have enough harshness around. We don't need any more. Let's spread some warmth, as Gladenique was able to experience from our fellow contestants. That's what we want to see. That's the kind of Jamaica that we want to ensure that we cultivate. And as we serve in our different spaces, we're able to better represent that aspect of Jamaica, not just in our individual spaces, but as we go out there. Romario Pusey, thank you for joining us. Amen, indeed. You're doing an awesome job, Romario. So proud of you. Right, I just paused to share that Romario, I believe, is still overseas, but he's impacting lives in his community right here in Jamaica. And I know a number of other Jamaicans. So for those who are in the diaspora watching, and you're trying to figure out a way to serve here while being there, it is being done. There are people in Canada who are actively engaged in initiatives that they're spearhead that happens here, even in their absence. So it can be done. Collaboration is the key. And as Gladenique was sharing earlier, it makes sense to collaborate, right? So that we can get things done. Yes, Abigail, love and teamwork, indeed. So we want to keep the love going and the teamwork flowing, and we collaborate and we strive to encourage and empower each other, share the information so that others can benefit from it. Romaria, thanks a lot. This is you are a true inspiration and one of my absolute pleasure. And you are an inspiration, Romaria. So we continue to inspire each other. Gladenique, I'm sure, would have inspired someone, if not here on the live, someone who will watch the replay, maybe not even this year, but next year or the other year. So, Gladenique, thank you so much for availing yourself to be a part of this conversation, because you can look back in a year or so to see how much you have grown. Because I know that you're going to show up even more confident as you learn and grow in your field. So thank you, Queen, and continue representing first yourself and then your community, your organizations, your country well. Thank you to the team at Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica. I see you. You continue to improve on the product. And this is a very solid foundation you're laying in terms of aligning the pageant with a cause, so that after the excitement and the tiara goes on, the work begins. We had an amazing conversation on fourth Thursday in September with our queen from the Clarendon Parish Youth Council, the very first pageant that they had there, the Clarendon Parish Youth Council, and they have aligned themselves with CCAM, which is engaged in environmental protection on the South Coast in Clarendon. And so all contestants in that pageant are ambassadors for CCAM. So you can check out the CCAM page, Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica, some insights that you can learn from, best practices. Check out the CCAM to see what exactly they're doing, how they've been able to collaborate to get more done and to get more young people involved in protecting the environment. There are so many organizations that are already doing what it is that you want to do, that you can align yourself with, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and the resources will be there to help you get more done in a shorter time with greater impact. Let's see, Mr. and Miss. Okay, thank you. This is Mr. We are forever grateful for you. Oh, my absolute pleasure. I think this is my part of my calling. So it's always a pleasure holding space here for our young people or young at heart, any individual organization that's involved in using the gifts that they've been blessed with to improving the space, so that when we leave here, we leave this world a better place. That's the mission, that's the drive. And so once that is your cause, feel free to reach out, and I will be more than happy to facilitate the conversations so that we can cross-pollinate. So I'm sure there are people who will be watching that didn't know anything about a Gladenique. They didn't know anything about the Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica pageant. And so here's another platform. We can't have too many of these because we have a lot of young people, and we want to make sure that they get involved in initiatives that will positively impact their lives. And here you have it, a testament from Gladenique to say that she has grown as an individual, and she's now able to come on and just take the spotlight and share confidently, representing not just Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica, but representing herself exceptionally well. Thank you, Gladenique. Thank you for those of you who were able to join us live, those who are watching the replay. Oh, Instagram is still buzzing. Gladenique will be representing the organization MMCJ at the Minimis Kingston and St. Andrew Heritage. Okay, what's that, What's that, Gladenique? MMCJ?
Mr. and Miss Central Jamaica.
Okay. Oh, that's a shortening. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, at the Minimis Kingston and St. Andrew Heritage Queen. Fantastic. In the life of her, thank you for joining. Look out for her Sunday, October 26, 2025. All right. You have your PRO over there doing you justice. Fantastic. Thanks again, Gladenique. Miss Central Jamaica 2025 first runner-up, and our STEM queen. Happy for you. Keep shining, keep smiling. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of the night. Thank you all so much. The SRC Community Corner Live Forum is brought to you on third Thursdays at 8 p.m. Visit our website at www.serenityresourceconnector.com and subscribe to receive our weekly blog post. Join us again on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for a Child Rights series with the Early Childhood Commission. Thank you for watching.